Hey everyone, Delphi Trading Group here with our weekly market report that we put out for you guys every week here on YouTube. So please again, like, subscribe this channel. You can like and follow our X channel, which we'll get to at the end. We continue to put out amazing content here on YouTube and our X channel. So again, please subscribe and you get the alerts when we put out these videos. Okay, so like the headline said on the YouTube video, there is a bottleneck going on in AI. There has been bottlenecks going on, but now the bottleneck is shifting. Okay, first the bottleneck with AI was the chips. Okay, so we saw what happened with NVIDIA and some of the other chip companies. Then it moved to memory. Okay, we can see what happened with SanDisk, CNDK, and recently, Micron. Okay, there was a bottleneck in memory. The next bottleneck that is currently happening, and it's already starting to play out in some of these stocks, is the power or the energy. Okay, without energy, without power, you cannot run AI. Okay, you need power to run AI, and now we're seeing a bottleneck in those stocks. Okay, just a couple stocks to look at. This is Fluence Energy. Okay, full disclosure, we have a long position here. And you can see just recently, this just went from $12 to $30. Okay, these guys supply power chips to AI. Okay, another one that has gone basically straight up for a long period of time is STM Micro. Okay, again, they are in the business of powering AI. And you can see this is a very beautiful steady chart, and today it actually gapped up I think about 15% because they came out and upgraded their data forecast. Okay, they're powering the data centers for AI. So again, we've seen these in these stocks. Okay, just talking about Micron, I mean, look at this. This is over $1,000 right now. Not too long ago it was at 300. So again, we're seeing a bottleneck starting to play out with powering AI. Okay, so watch out for those names. They've gone up a lot recently, but we don't think that move is over yet. Okay, by a long shot. Okay, so before we get to think or swim, I just want to look at some crypto because we've had some big drawdowns in Bitcoin and some other crypto names recently. Some of these we own, and you can see here the last 2 days, today especially, Bitcoin has come down a good amount. Okay, and if you're in crypto or you're looking to get in crypto, you need to look at the long term. Okay, and you have to weather this volatility, and not only weather the volatility, you have to take action when things like this happen. Okay, we've been buying today. Okay, crypto. We bought some Bitcoin. Okay, we bought some Ethereum, okay, for our long-term portfolio. Ethereum's down here, okay, at these lows. And also Solana, okay, these are the big three. So if you're going to get into crypto, you have to be ready to weather the volatility, okay? I relish these times that we can buy down here, and you have to have a long-term view, okay? So that's just a little bit on crypto because, again, these names are coming down today. And, the majority of this move, especially in Bitcoin, okay, is these are liquidation events. Okay, you have stops in place under key support areas, which are these green lines. And then, people get liquidated, high leverage, and it pushes it lower. So, again, if you want to learn more about crypto, you want to see what we're doing, come on board here. We do have a 14-day free trial. You can come in for 14 days free, no credit card. You can see everything we're doing in our Discord. You can see our positions in crypto. You can see our positions in our stock portfolio, our long-term stock portfolio. You can see the trades that we're doing. Okay, again, 14 days free, no credit card. You can leave whenever you want. Okay, so let's get to think or swim, and we are putting out 2 bonus plays this week. Our bonus plays have been incredible, and we're putting out 2 today, okay, as we said in the YouTube post. Okay, first things first, here's the SPY. Our forecast from last week has not hit. I am going to leave that there one more week. It's, with the 20-day moving average up here now, which is this blue line, okay? I'm not too confident that this target's going to hit, so we'll have to see. Again, I'm going to give it another week, but if it doesn't play out, I'll just turn that into a loser, okay? Again, I know there's people on social media, YouTube, X, they put forecasts out and they'll leave it there for months, and if it hits next year, okay, they take credit for it. We don't do that here. If people are following, like a lot of people are, and they're placing trades on this, well, then if they're practicing risk management, they should have got stopped out. We're not going to take credit for a target we put out if it hits in next January. Okay, so anyway, we're going to leave that there, and the reason I'm leaving that there is because look at the volume. The volume is steadily going down, okay? When the price is going up and the volume is going down, that's bearish. That's telling us buyers are losing interest, okay? But again, every pullback has been bought at the 20-day moving averages, which is why we went there on that forecast. So if we do get a pullback lower, it would not surprise me if they buy the 20-day moving average. If we were to close under that, then that could be an alert, short-term alert for a move down to the 50-day, okay, which is the red. But first things first, that's why I'm leaving it there. Volume going down. Indicators are still overbought, okay, and I'm leaving that there. Qs is going to be the same situation. Okay, again, last week we have not hit that target. Okay, but again, same exact situation. Volumes going down, indicators overbought. Okay, so again, I am going to leave that there. If we do get a decline, it might stop at the 20-day moving average. Okay, IWM target from last week did hit. Okay, that was the only index we said would go up. And again, you can see there it is. Okay, we hit the target going up on that. And I said this last week, IWM is trading the best technically out of the other two indexes. Okay, why? Because you have AI, you have big tech, and all that, which is just completely pumping, and now space recently too, which we covered in last week's video. So if you didn't see that video, check it out. Okay, so now since this forecast hit on IWM, I am going to go a little higher back towards the all-time high here. Why? Because we have a pivot. Okay, we have a higher high and a higher low. Okay, even though the volume's going down, CCI now is pivoting up. So I'm going to go a little bit higher, but not crazy on this one here. I'm just going to go back to challenge the all-time high here. Okay, so I'm going to go up a little bit. It's not going to be much, because if the other indexes decide to take a break and head lower, IWM most likely will follow. Okay, but anyway, I'm going up on that forecast on IWM. All right, so we have two bonus plays. Okay, these are off of our Delphi signal, our proprietary signal. I do 80% of my trading off the Delphi signal. I do trade option flows, which we also provide in our Discord channel. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, I'm going to set up this trade, okay? Just to kind of show you guys what I do when I trade, okay? Now, first things first, this forecast is going to be contingent on a pivot, okay? There is no pivot right now. We have a bearish shooting star, okay, on, what is this? 10 straight green days. That's called a stale green light, okay? So what does that mean? That means we're due for a red. Okay, you can see here we had 7 green days and then we got a red, right? So we have a shooting star, volume going down, stale green light. CCI is hinging, and stochastic way overbought and starting to roll over. We can see that there, right? So now that I'm looking at this trade, and again, this is going to be contingent on a pivot. We will need a lower high and a lower low. But since I don't have any lines on this chart right here, what I'm going to do is show you what I do. First thing you need to do is when you're setting up a trade, okay, you have to identify support resistance, okay? And how do you do that? You have to look at the chart and spot levels of reversals. Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you guys here. This is very clear to me that this could be support here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a line there. I usually make it green. Okay, and that's going to be support right there. I see other support here on this low. Okay, and around this area here and here, you can see there was support here, right? So I'm going to I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to move it up. There's support there. Okay, if we move higher, okay, we're going to see here that we have a reversal there. We have a reversal here, a reversal, reversal. So this whole area here, okay, was resistance. Okay, so if I put another line here now, if I just move this up again, I'm going to go to this high there. Okay, right there I'm going to go. And you can see how it's lining up with these other areas where it reversed, right? You can see that. So now what happens? Okay, when you have resistance, okay, when it's broken, okay, that becomes support, okay? Resistance broken becomes support. So if we do get a pivot lower here, okay, I would be looking at a move down towards this support line. And again, look how far away this is Allegheny. ATI is from the moving averages, okay? So we call that the rubber band effect. Okay, we have videos, tutorial videos. We have a bunch of trading tutorial videos in our Discord, which again, you can get in for free for 14 days and check it out. It's invaluable information, okay? So now that I have this set up, I am going to make my forecast on a pivot lower to head back down towards, okay, that support level. Okay, I'm just going to maybe go to this high right there. Okay, so that would be the forecast on this bonus play on ATI. Okay, so showed you guys how I set things up, how I teach people to trade. I've taught a lot of traders out there, and this is basically what you have to do, okay? Next bonus play, BRKR. Again, this is coming off the Delphi signal here, okay? Now, I already have this resistance line here, okay? I'm going to scale out just so you can see what this, again, how this looks. Okay, so this line, right? We had support here, okay? It was broken here, and then it snapped back and bounced. And then it broke right there. Okay, now that support broke, this line became resistance. And you can see what happened last time we were at this line. Okay, it came right up almost to the penny and hard reversal. Okay, so now this is a tough one because you can see we have now, this is the weekly chart. That is a bearish spinning top, okay? Spinning tops are bearish when you see them at the top of moves, okay? If I see any here, there's a spinning top right there, and you see what happened, it went down. So this, let me go back to the daily chart, okay? We're going to have this line here, okay? If I go back to the daily chart now that I have this line here, I'm going to look for some other support levels. Again, I'm going to look here, right there. That's a clear reversal we can see there. So I'm going to put a line there for support. Okay, right there. Turn this green. Again, I'm just showing you guys how I set up these trades. Okay, and then I would say here's another support right on this reversal right there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this green. Okay, so for this trade, now that I have my support resistance lines, I could technically say this is support, okay? But I showed you guys the weekly chart on that bearish setup, okay? So what do we have here now? Okay, we have a pivot. Okay, we do have a pivot here, okay? And look at this volume dropping, okay? Look at this, stock is going straight up and the volume is dropping, okay? That's telling me buyers are losing interest, and we have a nasty pivot on the CCI, which is still overbought, and the stochastic, okay, and way far from the moving averages. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do two forecasts, okay? First forecast, I'm going to go right back down to this line, okay? It's not a big forecast, I know. If this line breaks, okay, then the bigger move will be down to this area here, okay? Now, there could be some support here. That is not a gap. There is no space there. But again, I'm going to go down to this line here. If this line fails, then the bigger move is going to head lower. Okay, that doesn't look like no. That's like a $4 move. Okay, a $4 move in options could result in triple-digit gains. Okay. So anyway, we went pretty longer on this video than normal. We covered a lot of stuff here. And again, this is our X channel here. Please follow us here, Delphi Trading GP, okay, at Delphi Trading GP. You can see we put out our YouTube videos here. We put out other content here on our X channel. And again, if I scroll up here, you can see again our 14-day free trial. Okay, you can jump in our Discord for 14 days, no credit card, and you can cancel and leave at any time. Okay, you can see here 14 days, join our Discord and see what's going on. You guys can see all our channels in Discord. You can see our crypto, you can see our long-term plays, you can see the trades we're putting out. There's a chat, you can chat with the community. All that stuff you get for free for 14 days. Okay, so again, please like our X channel, please subscribe to the YouTube, and we appreciate you, and we wish you a good week trading, and we will see you next week. Take care.